Well, Nigerians are this morning still relishing the sweet taste of victory after the Super Eagles last night outclassed their Algerian counterparts in one of the quarter-final matches of the ongoing 35th Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Our Rise Sports correspondent, Aaron Akirijola, is now joining us from the city of Marrakesh for an update. Good morning, Aaron. And congratulations.
Good morning.
Congratulations, what's going on? We are celebrating, but of course we know that Wednesday will be an important decider when the semi-finals will hold.
Steve, you're going ahead of yourself. I must say, congratulations to the Super Eagles. You couldn't have said it any better. Taste of victory is still, I can still feel the taste on the tip of my tongue. And Super Eagles have shown in this tournament that they are the ultimate tour de force when it comes to football and when it comes to the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. Because no team, and I mean absolutely no team, has scored more goals than the Super Eagles of Nigeria, 14 so far, and only considered 4 in this particular tournament. You look at that, the Desert Foxes of Algeria came in with a game plan on the day, but Victor Osimhen probably probably in a state of penitence, came into that game ready to carry his team along as the vice captain of the side, and he led by example, scoring the goal and providing what was a sweet assist for Aqua Adams, who has been the revelation of this tournament so far with the number of goals he's actually scored and how he has taken to life in the Super Eagles. I must say kudos to him in his first major international appearance for the Super Eagles of Nigeria in a major competition. So it was a blowout. The Algeria tried to use the dark arts, tried to use underarm tactics. That did not work for them because the Super Eagles on the day were just too good for the Desert Foxes. And as it stands, another opponent bites the dust. But to just bring a little bit of perspective, the Super Eagles seem to be rolling back the hands of time. Remember, in the second game against Tunisia, when Wilfred Odhieri scored, he had to roll back the hands of time, celebrating like Kanu Nwankwo did in 1996. And this time around, as Aqua Adams put that ball into the back of the net, after dribbling the goalkeeper masterfully, you could actually see that he celebrated, rolling back the hands of time, a massive homage to JJ Okocha and Finidi George, who celebrated this in that particular fashion. And I must say, on a very sour note, because the Super Eagles of Nigeria, after the final whistle, tried to show sportsman spirit to celebrate with the Algerians, but the Algerians were not having it because they felt robbed on the day. And I see from the final whistle wasn't good, and I'm sure CAF will be fine in this particular team, talking about the Desert Foxes, because they just lost their heads as backroom staffs, players, and fans decided to just erupt, and we're fighting. We're trying to hound down players. We're trying to hound down fans, which is rather unfortunate, but it's the painful side of football, that is defeat. And one man, talking about the referee on the day, Issa Sai from Senegal, had to be escorted alongside his officials because they wanted to hound him, talking about the players, the officials, and the fans of the Desert Foxes of Algeria. You look at that and you say that for what was a beautiful victory for the Super Eagles, for what was a beautiful display of football and artistry, we shouldn't be seeing this happen at the higher stage. It was the quarterfinals, the whole world was watching, and the Desert Foxes decided to go on a rampage and embarrass the entire continent.
Yeah, that's a shame, but you know, spirits and emotions get high in these kinds of things. How concerned should we be, Aaron, about the goalkeeper, Wabali? Apparently he got hurt. How concerned should we be about his replacement for the game on Wednesday?
I must say this. When it comes to Stanley Wabali, the chief himself, he's been nursing an injury for a while. He came into this tournament, so nursing a very, very troubling injury. But he's been able to pray past it. He's been able to overcome it. And I'm sure the physios will be working overtime to ensure he's fit for that particular game. Because if we're going against the host, the Atlas Lions of Morocco, we need to put our best foot forward. And Stanley Bobo Wambani represents some of our best 11 we have in this country. So we are hoping that he will be fit. He's had niggling injuries. He had to sit out that game against Uganda. So it's almost like a 70-30 that he will play 70%, 30% he might not play. Because Francis Azor, who deputizes for him, is not an assured goalkeeper. We hope that he's fit to play against Uganda.
All right, Aaron, we're all supporting the Super Eagles and we're looking forward eagerly to Wednesday when it will be West Africa versus North Africa. Of course, Nigeria versus Morocco. And we are rooting for our boys all the way. Thank you, Aaron Akarijola. Enjoy Morocco.